Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to teach you chapter 1 of Business Studies class 11th, Nature and Purpose of Business, and the subtopic is Comparison of Business, Profession and Employment. This is Dheeraj Kaushal, PGT Commerce from KV number 2, Jalandhar, Kent. After going through this video, you will be able to understand and compare the distinctive features of business, profession, and employment. So let us start the comparison among these three: business, profession, and employment. As you know that economic activities are divided into three major categories, that is business, profession, and employment. So first of all, let us revise what is business. In my previous video, I discussed with you the meaning and characteristics of business. So I know you all are very much clear about the meaning of business. So once again, I'm going to revise it. What is business? Business refers to those economic activities. So one thing is clear, that business is an economic activity which are connected with the production or purchase and sale of goods or supply of services with the main object of earning profit. Object is the motive. The meaning of object is motive. The main purpose of doing business is earning profit. Now, moving on to the next aspect, that is the profession. Now, this is new for you. What is profession? Profession is also an economic activity. So, profession includes those activities, those economic activities which require special knowledge. So this thing needs to be remembered, that to become a profession, you require specific or special knowledge and skill to be applied by individuals in their occupation. So profession is also one of the occupation in which people require specific knowledge and skill. Such activities are generally subject to guidelines or code of conduct laid down by the professional bodies. So, if you are a doctor, you need to abide by the code of conduct given by the medical association. Like in India, we have the Indian Medical Association, IMA. And if you are a lawyer, then you need to abide by the guidelines or code of conduct given by the Bar Council of India. Similarly, there are code of conduct made by the associations or professional bodies for different professions. Those engaged in professions are known as the professionals. So these professionals are basically the persons who are undertaking a particular profession. These persons are called professionals. Okay. The third one is the employment. What is employment? Employment is again one of the economic activity. It refers to the occupation in which people work for others. You are doing work for your employer. For others means that for your employer. You will do whatever your employer asks you to perform, asks you to do. And in return, you will get the remuneration in the form of wages and salaries. So remuneration, which a person who is engaged in employment will get wages or salaries. Now, what is the basic difference between wages and salaries? Wages is paid to the labor on a daily basis, and salaries are paid to the employees on monthly basis. So those who are employed by others are known as the employees. So you must know who are the employees. Those who are employed by others are known as the employees. So I hope the meaning of these three aspects is clear to you: business, profession, and employment. Now we'll study about the comparison among these three? Okay. The first basis of comparison is mode of establishment. How can you establish your business or profession or employment? So, if you want to establish your business, it will be the total decision of the entrepreneur. The owner will make the decision whether he wants to start a business of textile, IT, information technology, cosmetics, or any other things. So entrepreneur's decision, and he need to make other legal formalities if required. Now, if I talk about profession, then if you want to start a profession, you need to take the certificate of practice and membership of a professional body. So membership of a professional body is very much required, and you need to obtain a certificate of practice. Like if you want to start your private practice as a doctor, you need to get a certificate of practice, and you need to register yourself as a member of a professional body. Now for employment, if you want to start any employment, then you need to get your appointment letter, and you need to enter into a service agreement. So this was the first basis, mode of establishment. I'm again revising it. For business, you need to get your legal formalities, and you need to make your decision what kind of business you want to start. For a profession, you need to get your certificate of practice, and you need to register yourself with any professional body. And for employment, you need to obtain your appointment letter from your employer, and you need to enter into a service agreement with your employer. Okay, second basis of difference is nature of work. In business, what is the nature of work? Provision of goods and services to the public. You produce or you trade in goods and services. In case of profession, you render personalized expert services to your clients. Okay, the specialized services are provided by the professionals to their clients. And in case of employment, you will perform work whatever is assigned to you by your employer. So performing work as per the service contract or the rules of service. Remember, in first point we discussed about the service agreement. So whatever task is assigned to you by your employer, you need to perform that particular task. Now moving on to the third basis. Third is the qualification. Now to start a business, you don't need any minimum qualification. There is no such criteria of qualification if we talk about business. So no minimum qualification is required. Even an illiterate person can start a business if he has the willingness and he has a particular will to start a business. He has the necessary caliber to undertake a business. He can definitely start a business. For profession, you need to get a specific training, specific minimum education is required. So expertise and training in a specific field is very much essential in profession. All of us cannot become doctor, lawyer, or other such professionals. If we want to become, then we need specific education related to that particular profession. If you want to become a doctor, you need to get your MBBS degree, MD degree, or such equivalent degrees. Okay, and if you want to become a lawyer, you need to do your degree of law, LLB, or such other equivalent degrees in that particular field. As well as training is also equally required for becoming a particular professional. Now, in case of employment, yes, qualification and training is required, but as prescribed by the employer. If employer needs a graduate for a particular post, then you need to obtain particular qualification for that particular post. So yes, qualification and training criteria is very much required in employment, but as prescribed by the employer. Now moving on to the fourth difference, that is the reward or return. What kind of reward or return is received in these three different economic activities. If we talk about business, if you undertake business, you surely will get profit in your business, and you might suffer losses also. Okay, but the main motive of undertaking business is earning profit. So the reward factor is profit earned. In case of profession, professionals charge fees for their professionalized services. So the reward or return is the professional fees. If we talk about employment, employee get wages or salaries in return. So this is their reward or return. Now, another difference is on the basis of capital investment. If you want to start a business, you surely require a particular amount of capital needs to be invested into your business. That will depend upon the size and nature of business, that what amount of capital you need to invest into your business. Now for profession, yes, you need certain amount of capital, but not that much as is required in business, because you need to establish your own office or your clinic or such other basic structure for your professional setup. So yes, limited amount of capital is required, but not very huge. If we talk about employment, then there is no such requirement of capital. Employees don't need to invest any capital into their office or their for their employer. So no requirement of capital in employment, limited requirement of capital in profession, and yes, very much requirement of capital in business. Now, another basis of difference is risk. Business, very risky. Risk is very much present in business. Profits are uncertain and irregular. So yes, businessmen bear a lot of risk. In case of profession, fees is generally regular, certain, but if we talk about risk, you cannot eliminate the risk altogether. So some sort of risk is present in profession also, some risk, but not as much risk as is present in the business. If we talk about employment, then there is no such element of risk. Okay, if you do your work in a very good manner, fixed and regular pay will be guaranteed to you. So there is no such element of risk in employment, but the condition is you do work as per the instructions of your employer, as per your service agreement, then surely you will get your pay. So there is no such bearing of risk in employment. So very much risk is present in business, limited risk is in profession, and very less or no risk is in employment. Okay, moving on to the another basis of difference, that is the transfer of interest. A businessman can transfer interest of his business with some formalities to his or her nominee, or the person whomsoever he wants to transfer the interest of the business with some formalities. So yes, transfer is very much possible. For a profession, no, you cannot transfer your interest. If father is a doctor and he wants to transfer the interest of his profession to his son, and son is only a graduate in humanities stream, then he cannot transfer interest. So in profession, a transfer of interest is not at all possible. Employment also, you cannot transfer your interest, but in business, yes, you can transfer interest of your business to anyone with certain formalities. Now, next basis is code of conduct. So in business, there is no such code of conduct prescribed by any association to all businesses. Yes, now in the current scenario, we see that certain associations are there which provide code of conduct to certain businesses, but they are not very much compulsory. These abiding all these code of conduct is not very much compulsory for all businesses. So we can say that there is no such code of conduct prescribed for the business. Professional persons, they need to abide by the code of conduct given by the professional association. So professional code of conduct is to be followed by the professionals. If we talk about employment, norms of behavior laid down by the employer are to be followed. So whatever the code of conduct, whatever the guidelines provided by the employer to his employee, they need to follow those particular norms of behavior. Now we are going to recapitalize whatever we have discussed in this particular video. First of all, we discussed 3 different economic activities. Number 1, business. Business refers to those economic activities which are connected with production or purchase and sale of goods or supply of services with the main object of earning profit. Profession. Profession includes those activities which require special knowledge and skill to be applied by individuals in their occupation. And third one was the employment. Employment refers to the occupation in which people work for others and get remunerated in return. Then the 3 can be compared on the basis of mode of establishment, nature of work, qualification required, reward or return, capital investment, risk, transfer of interest, and code of conduct. Now I am going to assign you certain questions related to our today's topic. Number 1. The occupation in which people work for others and get remunerated in return is known as, 4 options are there. Number 1, business. Number 2, employment. Number 3, profession. And number 4, none of them. Question number 2, how would you classify business activities? Question number 3, compare business with profession and employment. So I hope today's topic is very much clear to you. Thanks for watching.